So we're going to find all values of x for which y1 equals y2. Well, so we're going to solve, it says when y1 equals y2. But we know what y1 is, don't we? What is y1? Yeah, the 1 over x plus 4 plus 1 over x minus 4, correct? Equals, and do we know what y2 is?
22 over x squared minus 16.
Good. So this is just another rational function, just like the one we just did, except when we go to factor this, now we have to use our other factoring rules because we have plus or minus signs in it, right? So the same rules, we're going to go find that least common denominator. And we have to think about the domain because we have x in the denominator. Yes. All right, so let's look at that first denominator. X plus 4. Can I do anything to that? No. No greatest common factor. Two terms, but it's not, and it's a sum, but it's not a sum of cubes, is it? So look at the second denominator. Can we do anything to it? X minus 4?
I believe so.
No greatest common factor. Two terms, but it's a minus. Is it a difference of squares? No, x isn't squared. Is it a difference of cubes? No, so I can't do anything to it either. So look at your third fraction. Can you do anything to its denominator?
Yes.
Yes, it does not have a greatest common factor. Two terms, and it is a difference of squares. So we can factor this. Remember, a difference of squares. So you're going to have the two parentheses. Square root of the first term is going to go first. So what's the square root of x squared?
4.
X. Didn't I ask what square root of x squared is? Okay, just making sure I said it right. And then the square root of the second term is going to go second. What's the square root of 4? 16. Dang, sorry guys. What's the square root of 16?
4.
4. And in my parentheses, one's going to be plus, one's going to be minus, right? Now, when I do my least common denominator,
Is this going to be x plus 4 or x minus 4?
check. Right now it has nothing written, so you got to have the first one. It's got to have an x plus 4 in it, so put it. And it's together, so put it together in parentheses. Check your second denominator, x minus 4. Do I have one up there already?
Yes.
No, I have an x plus 4. I don't have an x minus 4, so put it.
And then you already have the other two.
Yeah, and then check your last one. Do you have an x plus 4? Yes. Do you have an x minus 4? Yes. So that is your least common denominator. But because you have an x in it, you've got to deal with that domain. Because you got to be careful. And remember, your domain is where the least common denominator is not equal to 0. So it's where x plus 4 times x minus 4 is not equal to 0. How do we solve that? No?
Oil.
No? You set them individually not equal to 0, right? Because they're being multiplied. So x plus 4 cannot equal 0. And x minus 4 cannot equal 0. And then solve them both. So x cannot equal negative 4. And x cannot equal positive 4. So any answer except positive or negative 4 is good. All right, so now we're going to multiply excuse me, every term here by that least common denominator. So we're going to multiply all of these by x plus 4, x minus 4.
How this turns into light graphic to this?
All right, so for my first fraction, the x plus 4 in the denominator is going to cancel with the x plus 4 on the outside. So I'm left with an x minus 4 times 1. That 1 is by itself, so I'm going to put it first. And the x minus 4 is together, so it goes in parentheses. Then we have a plus sign. Second fraction, I have an x minus 4 on bottom, so it's going to cancel with the x minus 4 on the outside. I have an x plus 4 on the outside times the 1 on the inside. Again, I'm going to put the 1 because it's by itself first. Always put our single terms first. And the x plus 4 is together, so it needs to stay together in a parenthesis. Equals. My last parenthesis, or my last fraction there has an x plus 4 and an x minus 4 on bottom, so they're both going to cancel. I'm left with nothing on the outside, so all I have is just that 22 that's left inside. And now we're just going to solve this equation here, linear equation. So what do we do first?
You distribute.
Yeah, let's distribute the ones. So 1 times x is,
X.
and 1 times negative 4 is,
Negative 4.
and distribute the 1 times x, and 1 times 4, and it's equal to 22. Now what?
You can.
All right, combine like terms. So we got x plus x, which is
2x.
2x, and negative 4 plus 4 is 0. So we have 2x equals 22. Now what?
Divided by 2 and x equals 11.
Divide by the 2, and we get x equals 11. Now remember, you've got to check. Can x equal 11? Yes, so there's our solution.